LPT. If you're thinking about going on a road trip or vacation with someone, first try to imagine what it would be like to be locked in a small room with that person 24 hours a day for a week, or weeks, straight. Because that's what it will be like. Hello and welcome to our Life Pro Tips. Please help us decide if this post is a good fit for the subreddit by up or downvoting this comment. If you think that this is great advice to improve your life, please upvote. If you think this doesn't help you in any way, please downvote. If you don't care, leave it for the others to decide. I actually had a friend that was perfect for road trips, like every second was effortless. She expected nothing from me. If she wanted to go on her own, she would just say it. If I wanted to, I could just tell her and she would find something to do. If I needed to rest, I could just rest. She was not only cool with whatever I wanted to do but actually enjoyed herself too. I never felt like I was dragging her along, and she never complained about anything. Unfortunately, she fell into addiction and then had a kid and moved away, but the best vacations were with her, so seamless. Also applicable to marriage. LPT. Go on a road trip with someone before moving in with them. Vacationing, and/or road tripping with someone for at least a week should be a required precursor to getting married. LPT. You can temporarily or permanently part ways while on vacation. Like, take a half day apart from each other. Or sometimes throw caution to the wind. Example: my boyfriend before my husband. We dated because we were supposed to go on vacation with multiple friends. Everyone backed out and we both said, let's go and have fun. Well, that turned into a 2-year relationship. 3 things can destroy an established friendship: a road trip, moving in together, and working at the same job. So this is why no one invites me anywhere. Got it. Drove just shy of 6,000 miles cross-country with my wife and toddler. 2-year-olds don't understand why we had to drive 6 to 10 hours a day for parts of it. Are you talking about the woman who is missing, and they suspect they found her remains, and her boyfriend is suspected of killing her? If you've ever wondered what it's like to be in a semi-pro touring band, this is it. After a few weeks on the road, you really figure out who in the band you do and don't like. I've seen it go from hugs in Santa Fe to fistfights in Ann Arbor. Good times. Going on a road trip through the Scottish countryside drinking whiskey and going hiking is a vastly different experience than being locked in a room with someone. Gabby Petito needed this advice SMH, living in a van with a guy for months cross-country while trying to make a living from a startup YouTube channel? Seems horrible SMH. Very sad story. You're going on the wrong vacations. Similar to this, if you ever wonder what it would be like living with one of your friends, just try not being friends with them anymore. Brian, is that you? LPT. If this is a concern you have, don't cancel the vacation or road trip, just break up the trip so you aren't in the car for huge stints of time. It's not always easy finding a good travel partner, so don't say no to a great trip because you aren't ready to marry your companion. Do plan the right trip for the two of you, which may include ample opportunities to get some separation. I wouldn't want to be locked in a small room with anyone for weeks, but I'm okay going on a road trip with a lot of friends. Can confirm, my girlfriend of 4 years and I broke up after 3 weeks on the road. The vacation was great though. This guy just summarized the first few years of parenthood. If you're going on vacation with someone, it doesn't mean you need to spend every waking moment do everything together. When I travel with someone, I always try to take a me day part way through to meet locals and do the things they have no interest in, and refresh my mind and stories to bring better conversation to them the next day. Tears of joy. If you plan on doing something, think about what it will be like. This can be extremely illuminating for relationships. Went on a vacation with an ex of mine, and that was the beginning of the end. We'd been together for about 6 months, but after about 4 days of non-stop contact I could tell that this thing wasn't meant to be. Always do the 3-day weekend first. Feel sorry for Gabby frowning face. My girlfriend at the time and I had to drive from Grand Forks, North Dakota to Quetchi, Vermont and be back in 5 days BC. We had to empty my storage unit. I was working as a travel nurse. Everyone should be made by law to do this before marriage. When we got to the storage unit we had like 2.5 hours to empty it before it closed. That was like 5 years ago. We're married now, we're both super happy. We tell people how much fun we had on that drive, stuck with nothing but each other for 5 days. Best trip ever. No fucking. Why even make that dumbass comparison? LPT. Before road tripping with someone, think about how it would be to road trip with that person. Seriously, why kind of dump post is this? No, it won't. Some people change personalities during stress. If you haven't been with that person in close confinement for a longer period of time, you have no idea what to expect from them in long term. Just did a month-long road trip with my husband. Awesome. This is stulid fucking advice. For real, think about what Op said. It's fucking. A friend of mine said the drive on the last long trip we went on, 3.5 hours one way to an event, camped overnight, was boring. I feel a little hurt by that. I would reconsider going on another one with her now. We've flown together and it didn't seem an issue, but now I'm questioning it. You're all way too high maintenance if a 1-week road trip ruins your friendship. This is pretty bad advice. Road trips aren't anything like being locked in a room with someone because you have ever-changing theory and a shared goal, plus you can split responsibilities to keep everyone occupied. My best friend. Awesome, my ex. Excellent advice. From now on I'm only road tripping with my cat. You can also split off and do your own thing at destinations. Road tripping is what you make of it. What kind of fucked up vacations do you go on? Yes, this is so true. Road trips are a fantastic way to tell how compatible you are with each other. Plus it exposes some personal habits you may not be privy to in your normal situation. My claustrophobia. I'ma head out. I've only been on one road trip and was still on good terms with the buddy I went with by the end of it, but we eventually lost touch and I've got no idea what he's up to these days. Get audiobooks to listen to. I love and miss my dad, but trip's tough. Audiobooks helped enormously. If you're thinking about going on a road trip or vacation with someone, first try to imagine what it would be like going on a road trip or vacation with that person. Because that's what it will be like. I went on a 10-day road trip with my dad, his wife and my wife this summer. It's definitely going to be the last time I go on a road trip with him and his wife. Fortunately my wife and I found Soleil other. Part off the bigger concept of people are cool in certain doses. Don't increase your dose of someone unless you're sure it'll be well tolerated. This is why I travel solo. Like Gabby Petito? Going on a week-long road trip with my girlfriend in a few months. Hoping it will give insight to how compatible we really are. I eased into it with my boyfriend to make sure. First we drove just a few hours to a nearby beach town. Then we stayed a weekend in another city. Then we did 2 weeks in another state. I can be 100% sure that he and I will have an amazing time traveling together because he made every one of those experiences better than expected. Husband and I just returned from a 3,500-mile 10-day road trip camping in the back of our old SUV. No one else I would tolerate that long of a trip with other than him. It gets stressful and we got on each other's nerves at times, but I wouldn't change a thing. We even kept our cool when the car broke down and we weren't sure how we would make it to our hotel, but we eventually did. LPT. Try and create LPTs that coattail off of tragedies in the current news to get more clicks. Gabby Petito should have thought of that. Sad face.